the stream of the match Demise vs Nova in the ECP1 Kenyan Premiership. Together with me is Cuba. Welcome.
Yeah, hello everyone, and thanks for having me on.
No problem. So today we're gonna see a pretty nice match on Canyon. We're in the playoffs at the moment, the third map pack, and I guess it's gonna be a pretty interesting match. What do you think? What are your expectations of this match?
Yeah, I'm very looking forward to this one. It's the playoff stage, so the stakes are high, and the players will want to show their best. And of course, the lineup here is quite promising as well. We
Yep.
should have an interesting match in front of us.
Yep. So we have the Scandinavian team Demise with great players, as well as the French team Nova, which is pretty new, I guess, who did a pretty nice performance on Valley lately. So they have some pretty nice players as well.
Yeah, Terror and as well as the others have been around in the competitive scene, and they have a lot of experience.
Yep.
So even though Nova is a new team, they sure have potential.
Yep, definitely. I mean, we have players like Cypher and all the others, which are pretty known in the Trackmania community for their skill, of course.
Yeah, they definitely are not the ones you want to mess around with. Of course, we can't forget about Demise, whose lineup is full of experienced drivers as well.
Yep.
So we've got Voyager, Pook, Prody, and Spizzy for Demise. Oh, and Suram, of course.
Suram, yep.
Ooh, yeah, and on the Nova side, we've got Nahoy, Shadow, Terror, Arrow, and Zypher.
Exactly, so all pro players. And I guess they're all pretty well trained.
Yeah, after all, this is not exactly an early stage of ESL, so the players have gotten to know the maps well, and of course, they spent a lot of time practicing those maps. We might see some interesting times driven.
Yep, definitely. So the team who wins will advance in the winner bracket, while the losing team will go into the loser bracket. So both teams still have chances to enter the finals even if they lose. So that should be motivating.
Yeah, I guess this system of playoffs is preferred by most of the players.
Yep. So it looks like they still didn't decide what map to play first.
The discussions are still going on,
Yeah.
so
But I guess we're
there's
going
some
to,
more time to warm up.
I guess, a few rounds, then we will be live.
Shouldn't be long.
I heard that the 5 vs 5 is going to be played first because I think Nahoy needs to leave earlier, so they need to play it first. Not sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. Although if Demise agrees with this, it should not be
Yeah, it's not problematic, I guess.
shouldn't be a convenience. Oh, inconvenience. Sorry.
Oh, by the way, I hope the sound is alright for you guys. I still need to mess up with the best sound settings. I hope it's alright for now.
And the players seem to be closer and closer to being ready,
Yep, looks like it.
as the discussions in the chat suggest.
Yeah, so looks like Demise is ready, so we are waiting for the answer from Nova. Alright, so the map is going to be restarted. I'm going to switch to full screen mode. So the first map is going to be Kamehameha by Don Juppie, which is going to be in 5 versus 5 mode. And
Yes,
what?
indeed. So we have Prody, Pux, Busy, Suram, and Voyager has disconnected.
Yeah, look,
That's
he's missing.
a bit of a problem.
So of course we need to wait for him. Meanwhile, the others are taking this opportunity to do some training.
Apparently, Voyager has a connection problem, commenting it with just some lag, but it cost him a reconnect, so he should be back in no time though.
Yeah, I hope so. A disconnection would be kind of bad for the team. I'm not sure if they have a player in reserve in case.
No idea, but it definitely would not be welcomed by Demise.
Nope.
And Voyager has still not returned.
Oh wait, he's actually driving now.
Oh, never mind. There he goes.
Alright. So looks like we're complete.
So this here is the official warm-up.
Yep. First map, let's see which team is going to win it. The 5 versus 5. The team who wins it gets 2 points for the total ranking. So it's pretty important to take this home. As well as the 3 versus 3, which also brings 2 points. So in case one team takes both of these matches or maps, they pretty much won the whole match. And we're going live. Good luck, have fun.
This is it, everyone. Have fun. And let's hope for fun and interesting matches.
Yep.
This is it. Terror, Arrow, Shadow, Zypher, now on the red team, fighting against Prody, Speezy, Suram, Pook, and Voyager on the blue team. Nova versus Demise.
Here we go. The first drift turn, still pretty close to each other. Now we come to the first narrow part. Oh, we have already Pook who failed there a bit.
Yeah, it looks like
As well
Voyager's
as
taken the best
Terror.
line so far.
Terror also failed, he dropped down a lot. We have Cypher in the lead who's opting for the overspeed line. Let's see how he's doing. Voyager on second place. And somebody was lagging there a bit. We have Shadow who is currently a bit behind all the others, but he's still in the race. Let's see, we have this little drop left drift turn.
It's not exactly the smoothest stream of cars we've got here, but Zypher takes first.
Yep, with a pretty decent time actually. Suram on second, Nahoy on third, Busy, Prody and Voyager closing up. So this is a round for Demise actually. 1-0.
Yeah, we could see that Terror didn't really manage to take that curve right, so paid for it with a mistake.
Yep. Oh, and Shadow with a no slide.
Behind.
But it wasn't that bad actually. I expected him to drop down more.
No, right now he's like in third or second. Oh, never mind, he's in fourth. But definitely not losing much, and
Nope. So let's see
keeping
this
on,
little. Oh,
keeping on
Suram, what the hell? He actually got a little bug, or he hit some bump, I think,
Whoa.
on that block, which is pretty annoying. Yep. So Suram obviously dropped down to last place. We have Cypher again on first place, currently battling with Prody. But Cypher looks like he's going to take the first place. Yep, with a 49.990. Followed by Brody, Shadow, Nahoy, Spizzy. So we're even now, 1-1. Good job by both teams.
Yeah, Cypher with great driving again. He did not equal or beat his previous time, but still a great round, which
Yeah,
secured him the first place.
he was pretty close to it. And Shadow, again with the nose slide, I guess he does it every time. Interesting.
Yeah, it definitely looks intentional.
Yeah. I never thought about that actually. But it looks like it's as fast as the drift. And again, Cypher in first place. Really good job by him. Very close at the front. We have Voyager taking first, but he gets overtaken by Cypher and Shadow. We have this narrow left turn followed by the right full speed turn. Voyager with a very inside line there, but he gets overtaken by Cypher again, who gets a bit more speed out of the turn.
We've got a nice fight for the first place, but Cypher is pulling ahead currently, so he's probably going to take this round again.
Yep, again.
What's a great performance.
And once again, he is the only one with a time below 50. So, very good job by him. And this is the round for Demise. So, they take over the lead again. Let's see, we go into the fourth round.
There we go, and Cypher again taking the best line on the first curve. Closely followed by Spizzy. And
Oh, Spizzy with a little
Spizzy,
fail there.
Speaking of which, taps
That's
the wall,
unfortunate.
falls behind.
That's unfortunate. He dropped down to the 9th place. Looks like Terror also failed a lot. Yep. Dropped down to last place. We're going to switch to the front. We have Nahoy and Cypher for Nova and Suram and Voyager for Demise.
That's right, Spizzy's mistake was by far not the worst. And he's actually catching up onto the pack in the
that would be very
middle.
important for his team. And Cypher again with a sick time there. Good job. Also
yeah,
Voyager.
Unfortunate for Nova, it's still not enough, and
Yeah.
Demise gets the point.
So Cypher's definitely the one who is doing the best job for Nova. And Demise takes it again, so 3-1 for them. Here we go, next round. Suriram with a pretty decent start there.
It wasn't too bad, and Spizzy for the first time is ahead of the pack. See if
Yeah,
he can
nice.
keep it up, or will he get overtaken by Cypher?
At the moment it's still very close.
Right now.
Yep. Only a few hundreds apart. The players. We have 3 or 4 Demise players actually in the front, so this looks like
yeah, looks like another
Demise
round for Demise, but
Demise.
let's not call it too early. As we've got Nova and Nahoy in the lead right now.
As well as Cypher. Oh, Cypher with a
actually tapped the wall in the last corner.
That was really unfortunate, but they were still able to take it.
To get another point. So this one goes for Demise once again.
Actually to Nova.
Oh, does it?
Yep.
Okay, it still goes to Nova. Well.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Suriram also dropped down, as well as Voyager.
Oh, well, there we go. Okay, that was the one I missed. Well, so Cypher's mistake was not punished.
So here we go into the next round. Suriram with a pretty decent lead. Oh, what the hell! He
Wow.
actually clipped that little edge.
Definitely not a way you want to lose that first place.
Definitely not. So that's really unfortunate for his team. We have Brody and Cypher currently battling for first place. Voyager also doing well. Shadow currently right behind him.
And probably took a better curve than Cypher,
Yeah,
going more on inside, but here he gets overtaken by Cypher again.
Yeah, Cypher had a slightly better end.
And both players got time under 50.
Yeah, really nice. Cypher had a slightly better end because he had an auto drift while Prody pressed the brake to start the drift, which costs a bit of time.
Yes, indeed. Next round, Prody on the lead.
Oh,
Think
somebody failed.
pretty well.
Alright, we have Spizzy and Prody currently in the lead, as well as Pook. Cypher crashed.
It's Arrow who crashed and Terra actually.
Taro as well. So Taro and Arrow dropped down pretty far, so that are lost points for their team.
Yeah, it's very unlikely that they are going to catch up now.
Unless somebody fails really hard at the end, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, we've got battle for the first place between Prody and Naho.
Oh, Pook! What the? That was a weird end. And this is another round for Demise. So they take over the lead again, 4-3. Really interesting match so far. Pretty balanced. So that's how it should be.
Yes, indeed. Demise haven't managed to pull ahead by more than 2 points this far, so Nova are doing pretty well to keep up, but they want to take the win.
Oh, Spizzy with a fail there. Pretty unfortunate for him. He dropped down to last place. Nahoy and Cypher currently taking the first 2 places for their team, but Suriram and Voyager try to deny it. Voyager with a pretty decent line there, or Cypher with an inside line, as well as the other Nova players. Oh, this is pretty tight. Pretty close.
This one is insanely tight. Let's see if the last curve can do some disturbance. Not really. Everyone closes very close behind
Yeah,
each other.
very close. We only have a difference from 0.3 seconds, I guess, between the first and the 8th. So pretty cool.
Yes, indeed. And Cypher again, the only player with a time under 50.
Yep.
And takes the first.
That was pretty important for his team. So Nova takes back another point, so it's equal now. Oh, GG phone. Oh, Sururam with a little mistake there. And another one. Unfortunate for him. Prody currently on first place, doing pretty well. He got a decent lead. Cypher drops down, he clipped the wall a bit. And this looks like a Demise round. We have Prody, Voyager, Spizzy at the front.
Yeah, Prody has managed to keep this lead and doesn't want to just give it away, so finishes with a time under 50.
Yep, so
Voyager close behind, as well as Spizzy, so that's a clear round to Demise.
definitely. Good job by them. So 5-4.
Again on 1 point lead.
Yeah. So maybe Nova will equal again.
Yeah, let's see if Nova can answer to this. They want to finally get in the lead themselves, and psychologically, it's not what they want.
Oh, Shadow with a bad mistake there.
Bad mistake, Voyager and Shadow? Yeah, that's right.
Yep,
it was
Shadow. Unfortunate for them.
Oh, Voyager taps the wall like twice in a row now.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I didn't catch it, unfortunately.
Nevertheless, Cypher's in the lead and does clean turns to keep that lead for himself.
Looks like Cypher is on a pretty decent time. He's only 300s behind the world record. Let's see if he can maybe get it. Oh, that was pretty close. That's gonna be a really nice time. He takes actually the 2nd world record. Insane. Just insane.
Time. Cypher is really on fire on this map.
Yeah. Such a great job. 49.51, only 400s behind the world record by Coco. Sick job. So that was pretty important for their team. Nova catches up, 5-5.
So we're tied again.
Cypher taking the overspeed line again. Manages to
And it
overtake
definitely pays
Spizzy.
off. Look at that.
Wow. That's just insane. He was able to overtake Spizzy in just one turn. But Spizzy's still doing well for his team. Oh, Voyager with a huge mistake there. He did the same mistake like Suiram did in a couple of rounds ago. And Nahoy also dropped down. He's 6 seconds behind everyone. And we have Cypher again in the lead. So this guy's really on fire.
Followed by Suram and Spizzy. But
So,
Spizzy made a mistake and that cost him 3 places. That's
yeah,
insane.
that's really unfortunate. So this it's gonna be the round for Demise. Yep, it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's still around for Demise, so they're in the lead again, and
So if
Nova
Demise,
yet again have to tie this up.
yeah, it's their last chance to get it. Because if Demise manages to win another round, then they won the map. Map limit is 7, point limit. Cypher again with an insane start there. Gonna switch to Shadow, who's currently battling with Suram and Voyager for second place. Brody sticking his nose there, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately. Cypher with a sick lead there. We have Cypher, Shadow, and Nahoy for Team Nova.
This time it's a pretty close race, but Arrow actually took the line a bit too outside on the... Wait, that was somebody who crashed.
Oh, it was Pook.
It was actually Pook, yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So this is most likely to be a Nova round. Yep, it is. So this
So
is...
we're tied up once again.
Yep. So tennis mode is going to be... So the first team to reach 8 points in this case is going to take this round home. This map. Here we go. Oh, Arrow with a very bad start there. He got much to the outside. Wasn't fast.
Way too much indeed, and the front of the pack we've got Brody and Suram, and actually
Terra.
nice player.
Terra dropped down. So that's a lost point for his team. Spizzy currently on first place. Let's see, we have this right turn. Shadow with a little mistake there.
Zypher is actually ahead of the triple Demise pack, but then on the tilted curve he loses some speed by going up too much.
Oh,
and
okay.
now he hits the side of the checkpoint. That's not good for Nova.
That's not good indeed. We have Spizzy, Voyager, and Brody taking good points for their team, followed by Cypher. So this is a clear round for Demise.
Almost a full house by Demise, so they're 1 more point away from victory on this map.
Exactly. So this round is pretty important for them.
Let's see if Nova players can deny their victory. They sure don't want to give this up. And it's now proving exactly this. Being ahead of his fellow teammates. However, it's not enough to be in front of Suram and Spizzy.
Yeah, oh, Nahoy actually with a huge mistake. Oh my god. That's really unfortunate for them. And for his team.
Zypher being the hope for Nova right now as he is ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
He has to keep this up or...
But it won't be enough. We have all 5 Demise players behind him.
So...
GG.
This is it. First point goes to Demise. Great performance, and even though Zypher was driving some insane times, it was not enough.
Yeah, this clearly shows that teamwork is pretty much important. Yeah, so the next map looks like it's going to be the 1 vs 1.
Chucky calling out Nerve Zypher, please.
Yeah, definitely.
Respect to his opponent.
He was
It's deserved. It's definitely deserved.
that's for sure. Okay, 1 versus 1 is going to be the next mode to be played in this match on the map ESL Impulse by Articus.
Right. Do you know who's going to play for each team?
I'm not sure, but it looks like Cypher might be the one for Nova to play it.
It would make sense. He's in a great shape, apparently, and just gotta see who's there from Demise.
He is. Looks like Spizzy might be playing for his team. At least it looks like it in the chat.
That's what indeed the situation suggests. But Cypher and Nahoy still being the active drivers here, so either they haven't decided yet, or now he's just delaying his spectating. We'll see.
So Spizzy is going to be the guy for Demise, as he's the only one in the list. So it's either Cypher or Nahoy. Okay, it's Cypher.
Good Cypher.
So Cypher versus Spizzy to warm up.
I can say that if Cypher has practiced this map as much, or if it fits him that well as the previous map, Spizzy is gonna have a hard time, but it's definitely not gonna be impossible. But he'll have to play his A game for sure.
That's for sure. So if Cypher is not in his best shape on this map, then Spizzy might take it. Not saying that Spizzy isn't talented enough, but we've seen that Cypher did a clear better performance on the last map, so I'm not sure what's going to be the result of this.
Yeah, and of course there is strategy behind the team choices about who is gonna play the duel, the 1v1, because they can choose according to who has played the specific map the most, so that can help as well.
And by the way, the player who drives the 1 versus 1 is not allowed to play the 2 versus 2.
Right.
So it might be some sort of tactic, maybe. So this is the last warm-up round on this map. Current world record by Coco again with a 47.80.
Yeah, let's see how close these players can get to that.
Oh, another warm-up. Okay.
One more warm-up, then we go, go, go.
So this fight is pretty much keyboard versus gamepad. Because wasn't Spizzy playing with keyboard? I think so.
He is indeed. He's a keyboard player, so he's a great keyboard player, but we'll see how much of an impact is that gonna have.
Yeah, of course we have some additional precision with gamepad, but you don't have that many advantages if you play with keyboard.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, of course, compared to Trackmania United environments. Let's say Island or Rally, it's...
Yeah, it's still harder to pull that kind of precision the gamepad offers, but it's possible. It's just hard.
Yep.
So let's see if Spizzy's got what it takes.
Good luck, have fun, we're going
He will
live.
need the precision against Zypher. So the players are on the star line and off they go for the first round. Spizzy versus Zypher.
Here we go. We have the little drift start there with a very, very long drift. And Spizzy actually dropped down in speed a bit. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it didn't take long for Zypher to take first, but Spizzy is catching up, having a nice tight line.
Yeah, very nice actually.
It's
Oh, Cypher
2-0,
crashed.
and
Cypher
this
crashed.
might be a round for Spizzy already. All he has to do now is drive safely, and it's a point for Demise.
Looks like it. We have Cypher who is half a second behind Spizzy. So it is not likely that he's going to overtake him. Although Spizzy lost some speed, but it's not going to be enough. Spizzy takes the first
It's
point
over.
for his team. Good job by him. Although he was 1 second behind the world record.
Yeah, it was not the cleanest round by any means, but it was enough to get the point, and that's what the most important thing is right now.
So here we go into the second round. Cypher taking the outside line again to pick up some more speed.
And this trick seems to be paying off a lot, as after the first 270 curve goes into the lead, and Spizzy is not too far behind. Both players managing to do some nice clean lines.
Spizzy still not far behind. He might overtake him in the last part.
Yeah, the time difference seems to be quite constant, but Spizzy is now actually losing a little bit more.
Oh, and he crashed. He was too much on the inside in that little drop turn. So that's a clear point for
Yeah,
Nova.
that's it for Spizzy, and Zypher finishes. Spizzy second.
1-1. We go into the third round. Let's have a look at the different lines at the start. So Cypher is opting for the outside line, and this definitely pays off. As you can see, he catches up.
Yeah, we get a great comparison of the two different lines and techniques. Clearly, Zypher is being the more effective one.
Oh, Cypher very, very close to the wall actually, and he dropped down.
Way too close at that corner.
That,
That cost him the lead.
yep, so that might even cost the lead on this map.
That is indeed likely to happen. Spizzy doing his best to keep this lead. Not having too much problems.
Nope, he's
Goes
going
to
to...
the off-road part and approaches the finish. That's definitely a point for
Yep,
Demise.
good job. Keep on crashing. That's what has been said in the chat.
Minato taunting his opponent. It's all within the rules.
Yep. And who knows, maybe it affects Cypher a bit. And again, we have Cypher with a lot more speed than Spizzy. Might be a reason because he plays with pad and Spizzy with keyboard. I think these low speed drifts are a bit faster with pad. Not sure though. But Spizzy,
Could be that. That's your call. You've got more experience in this matter. But yeah, if that's the case, Busy is pretty much not voluntarily, but nonetheless is giving up the lead every single round on that turn.
yeah, I guess that's going to happen every round. So we have Cypher with a decent lead there. He's not going to give it away.
It's Busy at that last 180 curve, but that didn't really matter in the end.
No, not really.
He got close second, not close enough.
Unfortunately for him, so we have a 2-2. Sounds weird. 2-2. Alright. Here we go. Next round. 2-2. Here we go.
And again, we can observe Zypher with his same line, which always grants him the lead after the first couple of turns. So it's Busy's task to do better on the following lines.
And he had a bad line there, so he drops down in speed again. He's already half a second behind Cypher. And unless Cypher crashes, he probably won't overtake him. Oh, Cypher actually dropped down in speed. It's the chance for Spizzy to overtake him in the last couple of turns of the map.
Yeah, I think he tapped the wall, and that's definitely great news for Spizzy,
Yeah,
who manages to pull out that round and ties the game to 2-2.
yeah.
I mean, he takes the lead for Demise, and it's 3-2.
It was actually quite an unnecessary mistake by Cypher. He had a decent lead, and he shouldn't have went that close to the wall.
Absolutely.
So we have Spizzy who had a better start this time, only a couple of hundreds behind Cypher now. Now we have the uphill turn. Spizzy
That
with a
wasn't
bit
too
more
bad for
insight.
Spizzy.
No, but was pretty decent. He's still able to take good turns.
This is very tight, but Spizzy having a little bit wider of an exit on the off-road entrance. So that means Zypher is pulling ahead by quite a bit now.
Yeah, and Cypher again very close in that drift. Oh,
Yes,
we have a very
Spizzy
close
actually has
battle.
better speed here,
Oh,
so
let's
let's
see.
see if the
That's
last 180 can
okay.
decide it.
That wasn't
Close round that was nice.
nice fight.
Round goes to Zypher.
And once again, this is pretty balanced. So we have 3-3 on this map. And here you could see the difference between Cypher's technique and Spizzy's one.
Yeah, there is the clear example of Spizzy's disadvantage on this map. However, he's been keeping up well on the following turns.
Yeah, as you can see, he
As we can
was.
see here, but no, he does the same thing again, and wide entrance on the off-road transition
But he
grabs him,
has
but
a
he's
bit more
behind
speed.
again.
A bit more speed here. Looks like it.
Yeah, maybe he's got more speed here,
Oh,
and
Cypher
actually he
very
does.
close. Oh, that's gonna be pretty close again, but it's again not enough for Spizzy. So
Yeah,
that's.
You could see Spizzy desperately trying to cut that curve or cut that last turn as much as possible, but of course he tried it and he couldn't do it. Was tapping the wall right in front of the finish. But he's not giving this up at all. It's only 1 point of lead for Cypher.
Yeah.
So we've got a nice fight.
And Cypher with a huge lead now. Around 10 hundredths. Oh, Spither with a mistake there. He's probably not going to be able to overtake him unless
Yeah, I
Cypher
got caught at
crashes.
the edge of the checkpoint, and all Cypher has to do now is drive safe, and he can bring the point to Nova.
Exactly, so let's see how Cypher approaches the last couple of turns. I guess he won't go that much risk. Nope, he won't. He takes it.
Absolutely no risk from Cypher, knowing that he's got his opponent behind by quite a bit.
Nice time with Spizzy, Chucky says in the chat. He was like 4 seconds behind the world bracket.
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Good support from team.
Yeah, definitely.
By joking, it's always nice.
And again, we have Spizzy who drops down about 2 car length. Unfortunately, Cypher with a very, very wide line there. Not sure if that was intended, but he was able to maintain his speed, and Spizzy again with a mistake there, unfortunately. So this is an opportunity for Cypher to take another point home for his team. Oh, so
Like
Spizzy.
his job will be that much easier thanks to Spizzy crashing
Yeah.
and Spizzy actually retiring, giving this round up completely.
Yeah, it had no sense for him to continue playing since
Absolutely not. After the first crash, he still had hope, but second crash pretty much.
So we have 6-3 now. And this is now the last round,
point?
maybe. match point. So this might be the last round of this map if Cypher takes it. So Spizzy actually needs to win this round, but again he had a bad line at the start. Cypher again with a comfortable lead, but he crashes. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's really unfortunate for him.
It's pretty much the same thing as Busy the previous round, but then
Exactly.
again in a bigger extent. So looks like this round will go to Busy, and it's not over yet.
It's not, and this kind of mistake is surely motivating for the opponent. Because you know the opponent is able to do some bigger mistakes, so you have still chances to win it.
Yeah, you know your opponent's under pressure, and you want to take advantage of that fact.
Exactly. So
And you
Spizzy
know
takes home.
to give up.
And we have 6-4 now. Spizzy closing up to Cypher. Maybe he takes it. Maybe not. Let's see in the next round. Again, a match point round.
Zypher is an experienced player and definitely doesn't want to do the same thing like 3 times. So let's see if he's going to keep his cool and bring the last point to Nova nonetheless.
Oh, Cypher very, very close in that little turn there. Spizzy's still trying everything to overtake him, but it's not enough. He is not able to get anywhere close to him. Cypher with a bigger turn there, but it's not enough to get closer to him.
Yeah, turn after turn, Spizzy is falling a bit behind, except for this turn. Spizzy actually caught up by just a fraction of a second.
Yeah, but it's not
It's not
enough. So this
This
point,
is a GG.
GG. This point definitely goes to Nova. Good job by both players,
Win
but
points.
in the end, we had Cypher with a better performance on this map. Oh, sorry. And the next is going to be 2 versus 2 on the same map. And as I said before, Spizzy and Cypher are not allowed to drive the 2 versus 2, so we will see 4 new players on this map. So maybe 4 different lines, who knows?
Yeah, it could be interesting, and we'll see what the play choice is going to be from both teams. Depends on the map, of course, and also on the current shape. My bet would be Terror, but that's just my personal guess.
And it looks like we have the little comparison between keyboard and pad again, because I think Suriram is a keyboard player as well, so he might have a little advantage at the start. I'm not sure though. I think Terror and Shadow are both pad players. We have 2 warm-ups before starting the 2 versus 2. Or maybe 3, because Prody is actually missing 1 round for some reason.
Okay, so you said that the keyboard players here are Suram and the other guy was?
I'm not sure if Prody is a keyboard player as well, but Suriram looks like he is. I'm not sure, but his driving style looks like it. He's doing like little taps all the time.
Yeah, and we might observe that on Prody's driving as well. But doesn't matter right now that much. Unless, of course, we're going to be seeing a similar thing as in the 1v1 match, where Zypher was taking advantage maybe on the first curve, where Riolu's theory that he couldn't do what Zypher was doing is busy, I mean.
Well, I'm not sure if that's true, but for example on low speed drift turns, on other maps like Nadeo maps for example, I see that keyboard players usually lose some speed, even though they have the same line, so there might be a slight disadvantage. Maybe it just depends on the steering technique. I can't say, but we have the last warm-up.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this match. So, turns out to be Suram and Prody against Shadow and Terra. Demise
Exactly.
versus Nova. Just one last warm up for the players.
So it definitely would be interesting if Demise takes this map home. So we see a 3 versus 3. So that's it for the warm-up. We're going live.
Everyone is ready.
Good luck, have fun to everyone. Some motivations in the chat by Chucky.
Chucky supporting his teammates as much as he can.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Maybe it helps. So, here we
Maybe
go.
this is esports after all, so first round.
We see some slight differences in the lines, but all in all, we have still a tight pack. Shadow currently in the lead.
Not much difference between the players as of now. Let's see if that changes with the S curve.
We have Prody and Shadow currently battling for first place.
Still actually very tight,
Very
and
tight, yeah.
right now Shadow is the one who has managed to pull himself ahead of the pack.
So it's up to Terror to take second place, but unfortunately he dropped down to last place, so it looks like it's going to be a draw round. Because we have Shadow in first place, followed by
Yep,
two Demise
that's exactly
players.
what happened.
And due to the fact that draws are quite common on the 2 vs 2, we are only going to play until 5. So it's not going to take an eternity until we reach 7 points. Here we go, second round. Actually, Terror, who had a slightly worse start than the others.
Yeah, manages to get a slightly more speed than the others, but is still on the last place.
Oh, very interesting.
So
Shadow, and oh, Shadow
Suram.
drops down. Oh, that's really, really bad for him. Shadow with a little crash there, so Prody and Suram in first and second place for their team.
Terror actually overtaking Suram on that off-road turn.
So it all depends on the last part, who is going to take more speed out of it. Suram lost some speed there. Now we come to the last drift turn. Oh, and
With Terror.
Terror, was it Terror who
Was
crashed?
Terror tapped the wall quite a bit. Not that it would matter because Suram would finish on third and the point would go to Demise in any case.
Yeah. So it's the first point for Demise. They take over the lead. And here we go. It's quite interesting how the players are approaching the very first downhill. Maybe we can observe it in the next round as well. So we have Prody currently in first place, followed by Shadow. Suram, oh, Prody actually with a little mistake there drops down to last place, right behind Terror. Terror had a bad line there. Prody might overtake him with a bit more speed. Yes, he does. Shadow on first. And at the moment, this is the draw round.
Yeah, it's a tie at the moment. Let's see if the last turn can actually change that, but it doesn't look like it, and
Nope.
it doesn't.
So this is a draw round again. Good performance by all 4 players, but it wasn't enough for any team to take a point home.
Absolutely not. Demise was closer before Prody crashed, but then yeah, that happened. So
Anyway, we
different
have
round has to decide.
that's for sure. So we have currently Shadow again on first place, but Prody with a bit more speed. Let's see who takes this quite dangerous S turn. Shadow with a mistake there, he crashed twice.
And both players actually
Oh yeah,
behind by a noticeable amount. This is
that
not looking too well for Nova.
no, but Prody with a slide there, but it's not enough for Shadow to overtake him.
No, not yet. He has one more chance if Prody makes a mistake.
Ah, but he
But that's
won't.
not going to happen.
Nope.
Both players from Demise on the first two places, followed by the Nova guys. Point goes to Demise and it's 2-0.
Exactly, so Demise looks like they're on a good shape at the moment. Nova currently doing some unnecessary mistakes, maybe going too much risk, taking too risky lines, not sure what's happening to them. Prody with a good start there.
Maybe that's the case. And yet again, we could observe the differences on the first couple of turns. It's not as drastic as it was in the match of Zypher and
Oh,
Spizzy.
Prody! Very, very bad mistake. That's unfortunate.
Very bad indeed. That cost him the front place. But he
Exactly.
still manages to overtake Terror with a nice line.
Yeah, but it's probably going to be a draw round again, unless Shadow crashes. Or Terror overtakes one of the Demise players. But it's not going to be the case, I guess. Nope, it
Nope.
isn't. Draw round again. Still 2-0 for Demise. Still a very interesting match so far, so pretty happy about that.
Yes, even though Demise are in the lead by 2 points, the rounds so far have been really tight, and it's just the fact that we saw two ties already confirms that. And Nova are definitely not giving this up.
Definitely not. So again, we have a very close. Oh, Shadow again with the same mistake in the S turn, which is dangerous indeed. So if you have a bad line, you need to risk it or let off the gas a bit to adjust your line.
You got to risk it to get the biscuits.
Exactly, so we have Suram and Prody currently on first and second place, so it looks like they're going to take the third point for their team. Yes, it is. So 3-0 for Demise, 2 points left to win this map. Nova still without point, so it would be kind of embarrassing for them if
It's not
they.
looking it's not looking too pink for them since it's just 2 more points for Demise to take this home, if I'm not mistaken. Nevertheless, we've got the next round going on right now, and Suram seems to be having the best line at that curve, but the pack is actually pretty damn tight
Oh,
as
Prody
of
with a
now.
bad line there. Actually, he dropped down to last place. At the moment, it is the round for Nova. Oh, actually, Suram in a battle with Terror, very, very close. Somebody crashed. Was it Terror? Yes, it was. Unfortunate for him.
Yeah, Tur breaking the tightness of the pack, and
But if Shadow
slightly
takes first,
Shadow
it's.
actually takes it, so it's another
Yeah,
tie.
so that was very, very important for his team. Good job by Shadow, who was able to keep his first place. Otherwise, it would be the round for Demise again.
Yeah, what I like about the system is that if your teammate is on the last place, you can still prevent the other team from getting the point by taking the first and therefore tying it up.
Exactly, so we have Prody and Terror who failed the first part. Prody with a bit more speed is able to take third place. Let's switch to the front. We have Suram on first place. Shadow with a bad line for the S turn, but he's still able to catch up on Suram a bit. Probably because he was going a bit too safe, maybe.
Yeah, that might have been the case. Shadow with the better line
And Suram
and Suram
crashed.
crashing, giving up completely to Shadow, it seems.
But yet again, it's going to be a draw round, as it seems.
Yes, of course, it depends also on Proteus and Suram performance.
Yeah,
And
draw round again.
that's indeed the case.
Oh boy.
So we've had like 7 rounds this far, I believe, and 4 of them were a tie. So show goes to show that this match has been really tight, and the Nova players, even though they haven't gotten a point for themselves yet, they're not doing bad at all. They're just not having enough luck, or
Yeah, probably, I
just
guess.
need
Yeah.
just need a little bit more of that extra, extra something to take the point for themselves finally.
And maybe Terror needs to focus a bit since he's. Oh,
Whoa.
huge crash by Shadow. Very, very bad.
Completely flipped around, and
That's really unfortunate for Nova. So Prodi and
yeah,
Suram.
both nice players on the front places.
So
Terror has to attack them, and
exactly. So Terror needs to take first place in order to stay in the match, but it's probably not going to be the case. Prodi and Suram taking first and
yeah,
second place. Good job by them.
which means a match point for Demise.
Exactly, 4-0. And as you can see, we have Prodi who took the most points out of this match at the moment with 28 points, followed by Shadow 26 points, Suram 25, and Taro with only 11 points. So maybe that's the reason why Nova is not able to take a single point at the moment.
Yeah, Shadow
And
kind of appears to be carrying his teammate, and
Taro again
this
with
is
a
actually
mistake.
just another example of it.
Exactly, so Taro with a very, very unfortunate mistake. We have Prodi in the lead, Suram in second. So at the moment, this is the win for Demise. Unless Shadow manages to deny it by overtaking Suram. But wait, oh,
Anything can
okay.
happen. That tap just
Alright. That,
okay.
this is it, I guess.
That is the nail on the head.
Yep, it is. Prodi taking first, followed by Suram. GG, good job by them. 5-0 for Demise, so a clear victory for them.
Yeah, well played by Demise. Absolutely.
So it's all up to the 3 versus 3, which is probably going to be very interesting.
Of course, kudos to Nova because it was 5-0, but this was out of like 10 rounds due to all the ties. So Nova did fight. Definitely, we can say that they did. So 3v3 time.
Exactly, we have the 3 versus 3 on Forgetlessness by Steps. Who's that guy? I don't know.
Oh, I haven't heard of that author.
Maybe it's just a weird login.
Could be that.
Anyway,
Anyway, so this map appears to be.
yeah, it's
Oh,
actually a
actually,
pretty challenging map because of the start, which might be problematic for one or the other player.
yeah, indeed. The start appears to be a place which could distinguish the player right from the beginning.
Exactly, so it's going to be pretty important to take it safely. But the rest of the track is also quite challenging if you're going to if you're going for a good line. Let's see who is going to be driving. It looks like Spizzy, Suram, and Prodi for Demise, and Shadow, Terror, and Cypher for Nova. And it has been asked in the chat what's happening if Nova wins this map, because then we have a tie in overall. So
Yeah,
then
in that case, that we're going to see a 5v5 on the
exactly,
map, which was, uh, the duel was played on.
yeah. So the 1 versus 1. or 2 versus 2. So would be cool if that is the case, to see a very interesting match. Anyway, let's maybe talk a bit about the map. We have this quite complicated left-right drift combination, where you have to maintain as much speed as possible, as well as this quite narrow left drift turn, where you have to exit the drift on the outside to keep your speed, as well as the last finish turn, with which might decide some fights, because you have to like take it as close as possible to the wall. Two warm-ups on this map. So let's have a look at the start. You really have to make sure not to touch the wall, because it costs so much time. As you can see, Suram dropped down by a lot because he slightly touched the wall at the beginning. So let's have a look how Cypher approaches the left-right combination. Oh, he actually failed. Oops. So in case Demise wins this map, then they win the whole match. If not, we're going to see a 5 versus 5 on the map we've seen before. Last
Yes,
warm-up.
indeed, and the players are shaking their hands with the walls so that they don't have to do it when it actually matters.
Last warm-up, by the way. So we're going to be live in a couple of minutes.
Yep, just one more. I've just been exploring the map a bit for the past minute, and the left and right combination, that seems really interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen on that one.
Yeah, I guess we're going to see a wide range of lines, maybe. There are different ways to approach them. Currently Prody in the lead. Let's see how he manages to take them. So, one slide, then a second. Continue the drift and then start another drift. Open it up. So he did it pretty nicely.
Yeah, looked like a nice example of how it's done.
Exactly. And it's a quite decent run as well. He's only 0.25 behind the world record, which is currently a 51.50 by Passy.
Where can you actually see the world record?
It's on the right.
All right. For some reason it wasn't there for a second. Okay.
Yeah, you. Okay, alright, doesn't matter. We're going live now on maybe the last map of the match, Demise versus Nova. So maybe now that box appears in the bottom right corner.
Yeah, I got it now.
Didymania.
Yep.
Alright, here we go. Nobody failed so far. Still very tight. Everyone doing well.
Let's see if the off-road turn can change that. Actually doesn't, and the pack is still pretty tight. Zypher in the lead currently, but not by too much. And Prody is on close second.
And we have a very interesting line by Cypher. He actually takes the first turn in no slide.
Yeah, and speaking of Prody, he actually tapped the wall just slightly, but it was pretty much for him, it means that he's on last place at the moment.
Exactly. Maybe.
Although,
Yeah.
not
Okay.
by far.
Yeah.
And he actually overtakes Busy, but
Yeah,
that
but
doesn't matter.
It doesn't. So the first point goes to Nova, thanks to Cypher, who takes first, Terror and Shadow on third and fourth place. Nobody failed, but they are quite far apart from each other. Especially Shadow, who dropped down a bit. But he's still in the race. Let's see how he approaches the very important drift part here.
Approaches it quite well, unlike his teammate Terror, who topped the wall and
Oh, did he?
falls behind by quite a bit. Yeah, he actually did, and
So Cypher again carrying his team by doing pretty well.
that seems to be the case. However, he's followed by 3 Demise players, which means the point goes to Demise.
Exactly.
Well played by the Demise players, and well played to Cypher again.
Yeah, he actually got the 4th Didymania time with a 51.64. So only 1400s behind Pussy's Didymania 1 time. Good
Yeah,
job.
let's see if he can improve that in the following rounds, or maybe one of the
Oh,
Demise.
somebody actually really failed there. It was Cypher and Terror as well, who failed the start completely. So we have Prody and actually all 3 Demise players currently on the first 3 places.
Yeah, Shadow representing Nova on the front lines, but he's still behind, and even though Spizzy made a small mistake, the difference is still really high compared to Prody and Spizzy at the top.
Exactly. So it's most likely to be another round for Demise.
And Shadow tapped the corner on the GP road, which means he's falling behind by 1 more place, giving that. Whoa.
What
Okay,
what happened?
He completely gave that round up, so
Okay,
didn't really matter since just that one crash meant that all Demise players would take the first 3 places.
that's the case. So we go into the next round. 2-1 by the way for Demise. Let's see. Oh, Cypher again with a mistake right at the beginning.
He
What?
doesn't want to do that. 2 times
Ah,
in a row crashes this early.
nah,
Unfortunate for him.
that's so unmotivating if you're failing so hard twice in a row.
Especially after it did so great. Maybe he's tired of carrying his team all the time. Nevertheless, Terror and Shadow are trying to keep up with Prody and Suram.
And Taro actually did a little mistake there, dropped down in speed a bit. We have Prody and Suram who they do a great performance so far. Currently on first and second place, so this is again a round for Demise.
Yeah, Suram and Prody driving in nice tandem, safely bringing the point to Demise, with Shadow and Terror behind, busy on 5th, and Cypher, after the unfortunate crash, takes the last place.
So let's see, maybe we're not going to see Cypher fail again. And looks good. Nobody failed, yay.
It's definitely great for everyone spectating. That's what you want to see, no fails. And tight packs like this one.
Exactly, we only have Taro who is currently a bit behind the others.
And
But
then we've got Cypher with some great lines once again. Totally paying off his depth after those 2 mistakes. Being in a
indeed,
convincing lead.
he might be on a very good time, I'm not sure. Let's wait for the checkpoint. Oh, he crashes! Oh
Ah,
my
there
god!
goes.
Oh my god!
Gives up the first place to Prody.
Ah. So it's actually again an ace round for Demise. Prody, Spizzy and Suram taking the first 3 positions. 4-1, so that mistake by Cypher was so unnecessary, actually.
Absolutely, and Cypher knows this, and this might bring his psyche a bit more down, so let's see if he can keep
Yeah.
his cool.
Oh, Suram actually crashed. Drops down to last place, unfortunately. But still, Spizzy and Prody for Demise taking good lines. Currently battling with Shadow and Cypher. looks pretty decent, still very, very tight. Oh, Cypher the mistake again! So
Zypher
it's...
gave it up after having not an ideal exit after taking those lines so nicely, which meant he tapped the wall and falls behind yet again. And now he gets overtaken by Suram as well.
Okay, so we
As
have
it's battling, but it's pretty tight. And on the front, it's Prody with
Prody, yeah.
yet another win.
Alright,
So
so looks like Demise is slightly dominating this match by taking another point, 5-1. Their lead grows and grows with every round.
yeah, this is devastating for Nova at the moment.
It
They
is.
have to do something about it, and
It's
they
time
have
for a
to do
comeback.
it
Oh,
now.
what the actual
That
fuck?
was
Oh
not
my god, Shadow. With a huge mistake there. Wow. And actually in the match liked versus wait, who did we play against? Anyway, somebody managed to crash at the beginning and uh, fall on the side of the car, so he wasn't able to continue driving, which is quite
wow.
unlucky. So you need to have a lot of bad luck to do that. Wow. And actually an ace round again for Demise. It looks like it. Yes, it is. We have
That's
Suram's
exactly what's
busy.
happening here. So 6-1 for Demise.
So yeah, Nova players definitely out of shape. Maybe it's too late. Maybe they're tired. I don't know. So this is the match point for Demise. They might win this whole match with just one good round.
Yeah, Nova players are shouting in the chat for comeback.
Yeah, and they definitely need it because if they want
All
to
right.
win it, they need to win 6 rounds in a row.
Absolutely, they need to make it happen, and they need to make it happen now.
And we have
However, to me, it feels a little bit like Zypher is exhausted. It's like his magic drove off or something, but let's see what happens now with Spizzy and Prody on the pack one
we
ahead
have
of the pack once more.
Cypher
But
approaching.
Cypher,
Oh my
oh, that was
god,
a sweet no slide.
that was so intense. Very very nice line by Cypher. Was able to take first place by risking that. Currently in a battle with Brody, who's taking the inside line. Cypher is most likely to overtake him with overspeed. Oh, and Brody takes it more. Oh my god, very,
Whoa,
very,
okay,
very,
that
very.
was that was a great round, and
Okay, and it's actually the
it means
GG.
win for Demise though. But we could see some great different lines from Prody, Suram, and Zypher on the tilted GP road. That was definitely interesting to observe.
Exactly. So Demise wins this match against Nova. Congratulations. Very well played by all players. GG. Oh, my phone is actually ringing. Oh, alright. I'm going to leave the server for now. So Demise is the team who stays in the winner bracket while Nova advances, right? To the
Advances.
to the loser bracket. Yeah, so that's it, everyone. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks a lot to Cuba for casting with me.
It's been my pleasure.
You did very well, and thanks to Stubby TV for offering all this great stuff here. Have a nice evening, and see you next time. Bye.
Take care, everyone.